Hey everyone, welcome back to the Double SK Show. I am Smitty Sebastian Kirk,
And I'm Misha C.
and today our topic is going to be about do you think you can be friends with your ex after a breakup?
So we actually are going to dive into this with his take on it and my take. So they may be different.
They're going to be different.
And they're probably
They're
different
definitely going to
than
be different.
any of yours out there. But we're just going to give our opinions as we do.
Now, going into do you think you'd be friends with the ex? Back in the day, I used to say no. But since I've been there, and me and my ex are very good friends for, oh God, almost 20 years of being friends. I'm lying. It's maybe 10. No. No. 20.
It's been a while. Well, not since the breakup.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you
It's like
all-
almost 20 years since the breakup.
Oh, since the breakup.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we still
Yeah,
remain
we still-
friends. And I guess the way it goes, you're friends at first before you meet the person.
You should be.
Then
Definitely.
you're in a relationship. Then after relationship, if it's depending on how the breakup is, it should go back to friendship because all that time you're spending with someone like few years and stuff. I don't think you should not be friends with that person because you shared so many intimate moments, so many vacation holidays, you know, stuff, encounter with relatives that to me I think you shouldn't cut it off. And I know when you get married a lot of times people feels like, well, since you're married now, I don't want to be your friend. But you got to be if you have children. See, in my situation, there was no kids involved, so it's different. But see, your take is different.
Well, I have different a different opinion on this altogether. I am friends with my two ex-husbands. Yes, I do have two. Um, Even initially, I think that we were both friends, but I think that you cannot have feelings for that person after you break up. If you are still in love or still have love that's so deep, not just beyond you really care for them, then it's not going to work. Or if the way that the breakup happened, that you were just so deeply hurt, you need to give yourself time. Now, I mean, most of the people that I've had relationships with, I am friends with, but I think there is, now I've really recently realized that if there are times when you cannot initially be friends with that person. And I've, told Smitty this, that if you still love that person, care so deeply for them that you're still kind of yearning for them, even though you're not realizing it, but the other person you're with realizes it, then you cannot initially be friends with them.
The- well, yeah, I mean that is true. I think you cannot because I think you need time and space. Um, Me personally, I think it should be like a whole complete year that you're not really contacting your ex or not really involved with your ex. That means cut off the family, cut off their friends that was connected with you. Um, if there's property involved or some type of monetary value of anything that you all have to share, I do understand that, but it should be strictly business. You get to the point and you're done and over with. Especially because, like you said, if there's deep feelings involved, that's going to come up again. It's still going to be like yearning, that's still pining, and that's going to cause problems for your future person who you're with. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair at all. I think that if you know that your ex is pining over you and still wanting you, and you're separated, I don't think that you should still entertain that.
You should
And I
just-
understand about feelings being hurt, and I don't mean to keep cutting you off on this because I'm very passionate about this, but I don't think that you should appease them or is that the word I'm looking for? To entertain them, should I say? You shouldn't entertain
Because you don't want to
their
hurt their
feelings.
feelings.
Right,
But that's
because-
not helping because you have moved on or somebody has moved on. And maybe that person has not just yet because they still were in love with you when the breakup happened. And so if you have moved on and you're with someone else, it's not fair to that new person that the topic of you and the other person keeps coming up or bringing up that person because I know what I have not been in that situation where I've still been in love with somebody that I was with prior, and I had to get over those feelings. I mean, once I broke up with someone, I was not in love with them anymore, and that's why I moved on. But I know that it happens. I mean, I really do, and I feel for that person. But it isn't fair if you are dating someone else, if you're trying to move on and try to have a future with someone else. You need to give it time. And also give the person that you're with time to realize or to be able to accept that you just broke up with this
Right.
person. It's a lot to deal with.
Also, I think as well that when you are separated from your ex, and say that you are friends with your ex, because like again, you can be, I know that for a fact, but it takes time. But the person you get with, you need to let them know up front what's going on, the relationship, and let them decide if they want to be bothered or not. Not just drag them into the situation. Then all of a
Yeah,
sudden
then
you're
all
hanging
this-
with this person. Oh, we used to date.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
You didn't tell me
yeah,
that. So then
that's-
it's a big blow up.
Yeah.
My main thing is give the other person the opportunity to say, hey, I'm on board, or hey, I'm not.
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, deuces,
Yeah.
do you.
That's true.
Bye.
That's
Bye,
true.
Felicia. So, look.
That is true. And then you can't. I mean, I know that it's very easy to want to tell that person that you're with, no, you cannot be friends with that person. No, you can't hang out with them. But you can't do that because guess what? That's going to probably bring them closer to them. So for me, and what I found that works for me is that, it's communication. I try to be as accepting as I can, but sometimes it doesn't work for everyone. Everything doesn't work for everyone. And as I said, I am friends with most of my exes. I really am. I'm one of those people that can get along with almost anyone. So for me, it works where I don't want to have animosity. I don't want to have that type of relationship where I'm just upset. A lot of women, when they break up with a man, and especially when they have children, they want to keep the children from the ex, and that's their
Yeah,
father.
yes.
I've never done that. They can always say they were able to see their kids anytime they wanted. I wasn't one of those bitter exes, and to me, it doesn't make you you're not going to be happy if you're being bitter. So, women, I know it's probably not going to change anything, but it really, really makes you feel better. You need to forgive.
You have
and
to
let
forgive and
go.
then let go, because if you keep holding on to negativity and that person moves on, you're just pretty much dragging your own self
Yeah.
down. Well, that person's still having a good
They
time,
are.
still enjoying
They're
their life.
still
They don't even know you're upset.
That's the
You're bringing
thing.
all this
Yep.
negativity, just got that bitch resting face and all that other stuff, for no reason. Like, what's wrong with
Yes.
you? Nothing. Like, well, you need to
Yeah.
fluff it out. But
And you are just evil and bitter and unhappy. And
right,
why?
because of the ex, and I understand love is a powerful thing, the emotion
Ooh,
of
yes.
love. It can take people out of here.
Well, it has.
Yes.
I wanted to take a few out, but
Yes,
I didn't.
I want to peel a couple people's wigs back. Not tonight, but another thing is too, when people get involved in relationships with someone who you have to realize when you just recently broke it off with someone, and a new person come in, if you didn't give your time, like say it's like 2 months, and you start dating again, but you're trying to be friends, that shit is not going to work. You need to give yourself space, clear your head, then go into the next relationship. Don't jump
Yeah, you're right.
back
I mean,
into a relationship. You cannot
No,
do it.
I
I
do-
don't care what you all say, and I'm only going by my experience. You cannot do it.
This is what I say. I definitely agree. I do. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. You end up falling for somebody you had no idea that you would.
Right.
Feelings are very strong. It shouldn't happen that way right after you've broken up with someone else. It really shouldn't.
Because it's
but
still
you
open. It's
can't.
still
That's the
raw.
thing.
Yeah.
Your heart does not have it doesn't know. It doesn't have, it has its own agenda.
Right.
It really, honestly, it does. Now, we should be stronger. We're not. A lot of times we're not.
Emotions takes over a
it
lot.
does. It
And
takes, as we know,
Yeah.
love,
love is a powerful
Woo.
thing.
Yes.
Love heals all. And when you're deeply in love with somebody and something happens, and a lot of times when you break up, it's because it's something really bad. Not that you fell out of love with someone, but someone did something like for cheating or betrayed you or something. So you're automatically going to be bitter. So that's why you can't be friends with them right away. Even like a month later, okay, we're just gonna be cool. We can't be together. We're not compatible, but we're gonna be cool. Hell no. My main thing is like again, a year because I've been through that where I was out in a relationship. I had to not contact that person for a whole year, except when it came to like far as like
Business
old
type
bills and
things,
business stuff.
yeah.
We did, but other than that, didn't see, didn't talk. Just like cut it off and just kept, keep it going, keep it moving. And then once that came around and we ran into each other, then it was okay. Then we started building up a friendship. Even though we had the friendship prior, but the way it ended, it was kind of like a bitter, not real bad, but kind of a little bitter taste to it. So you have to allow that to die out before, you decide, oh, we're just going to be the best of friends. I don't know. I mean, you definitely can be friends with your ex.
I believe it.
But
I really have
time.
done it. It
It
does.
takes time.
And-
It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And then if you know that your ex is giving way too much to you, like far as emotion wise, and it's messing up your new relationship, then you need to let that ex. You need to cut that ex off because they're exactly what they are, an ex.
Well, that's true. I mean,
An
that's
ex.
the thing. If someone knows that you're with someone else and there's drama coming, with it,
Yeah,
and
and when they see you, they run up on you like, you with my man and all the other
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, bitch, would you get the fuck up out of here?
so,
Shit.
I mean, that's definitely not anybody you need to be friends with.
No.
Because they are going to cause you problems.
They're gonna cause your new relationship a lot of problems. And then, depending on who that person is you're with, if they don't feel that that's strong enough to stay, they're out of there, and you might be missing out on something because your ex screwed it up. So
And I can say for me, because everyone who knows me knows I'm a very nice person. I don't like to hurt anyone's feelings. Sometimes, in not wanting to hurt someone else's feelings, I guess it can seem like you may not be upfront and honest with your ex. You may not want to, you're not telling them exactly the truth. You don't want to be with them. You still love them. You still care for them. You're not in love with them. But you have to, unfortunately, you're going to have to hurt their feelings. It's inevitable. If you're not wanting to be with them, they still want to be with you. It's going to hurt their feelings. But you can't, you can't string them along. You can't
right.
make it seem like
there's
some
it's
hope.
a possibility,
Yeah,
right?
there is no hope.
Because if
it shouldn't be any.
it shouldn't be any hope.
I don't live
But
there.
again, if exactly what it is, an ex is an ex. If you know for sure you're not definitely going to get back with that person, then if you don't know, you just broke up. You're out of a relationship with that person for a certain amount of time. You don't start nothing new. You wait and get your stuff together. Then you'll see. Then you get it together. But you don't start something new and realize, oh, I still want that person.
Yeah.
That's not fair to the new person. Then you're an asshole for doing that.
Well, that's That.
And I have ran into many assholes who have done that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's not good.
No,
That's
well, I mean, no,
terrible.
I'm being
But
honest.
I'm sure it
I
happens.
haven't personally have done it because
I've
I always
never
give
done it.
myself a break because you need to heal. Then you go back into the single life. Then you got to get back into who you are. Because a lot of times in relationships, again, you do lose yourself a little bit.
Yep, we talked
Because
about that before.
yes, because you're in that relationship. So give yourself time to heal. But anyway, we're getting a little bit off subject. But again, as far as being friends with your ex, I think it definitely can be done, but it's got to be two willing parties. It just can't be you thinking it, or you feel that you owe them something because they did something great to you for you in that relationship. That's
know
great,
what?
and that was because they were in a relationship
That's
with you,
true.
and that should have been done. But
Yeah.
thank you. But now I'm
once
moving
you're
on.
done, you don't owe them.
You don't owe them anything.
And that's the thing for me. I am guilty of this. I feel like I owe people things that maybe I shouldn't feel that way. Because when somebody does something nice for me, and I take that and I really cherish it because I don't expect anything from anyone. I do think I'm a queen, but I say I'm a princess, but I'm really a queen. But no, I honestly appreciate anything anyone does for me. So I just think that just because somebody's doing some really nice things for you, have helped you out, when you break up, you can't hold on to that thought of, oh, I owe them, I feel so guilty. You can't.
Then you
have
need to stay with that person.
And that's the thing. If you want
Right.
out, if you want to live your life, if you're not happy, you need to move on. And hopefully, down the line, you all can be friends. And so I'm hoping that maybe this will help a few people to resolve some issues. I know there's some out there, possibly like me, who just don't want to hurt that person's feelings, but
But you got to look out for number one.
I was gonna say, you have to think of
you got
yourself
number
first.
one at any cost. And unfortunately, it sounds so selfish to say that, but
But you
when
do
it
have-
all boils down to
honestly.
it, you got to look out for yourself first, because no one's going to look out for you like you would.
No. And
And
sometimes you do have to. You do have to be selfish.
you do.
Because guess what? The other person's going to think of themselves. You have to think
Right.
of you. And life is too short. We only get one. And we should live every day, and I know it's probably a cliche, but every day like it's our last.
Right.
We really, really should.
You should,
As
but
we
we
see
don't. But yes.
how the world is, all the devastation, we never know when it's our time.
Oh yeah, with all these
Honestly, if
different
you're not
terrorist
happy-
attacks that we've been having all
Yes.
over the world
It's crazy,
lately.
and
Whoa.
just like the floods and the fires, it's just
Yes.
stuff that we know these are possibly our last days.
Right.
Live your life like it is your last, and you should be happy at no cost, and,
Right.
and not being. You shouldn't hurt somebody else's feelings. But if you're not happy with someone, don't feel like you have
You
to
should.
be
You
with
need to be
them.
honest with yourself and with that person. You need to just be. See, the type of person
Well, I know.
Mister. I'm saying. I'm telling you. This is what I feel. But honestly, I just feel that you can say stuff in a very nice way, but very straightforward with it. You don't have to jump around the bush. It's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I know it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. It's just not going to
And
work.
for me, that's a hard. I struggle with hurting.
Well, do you think
someone else's
it's a
feelings.
possibility we can still get
See?
together? No.
And
No, I do not. What did I just say?
For me, it doesn't come out like that. Ever.
Well, that doesn't come like that all the time.
But-
It depends on when the person is not listening. When I'm telling you, like, okay, it's not going to work. It's just not okay. Then they come back. Well, do you think we could work on it? We try to work on it. It's not
it didn't
working.
work out.
Well, what about? Well, let's just try to be friends. What part are you not listening?
Now you
I got a
get
couple
upset.
drinks in me. Now I'm pissed.
Now you screaming and hollering.
That's next thing. Here come the cops all over again. I asked you not to come through that door. I asked you don't come in here.
We hope that it does not end like that for most of us.
Right.
And somebody's leaving in handcuffs. I don't
Right.
know who it is.
I got your undergarments in a bag. They were sitting on the porch. There was no need for you to ring that doorbell and try to come in here. There was no need.
You know what?
You did this. Take ownership for it. Like-
Oh my goodness, you have issues. Seriously. Anyway, so this is our take on if you can be friends with your ex. As we said, you all may have a different opinion. This is his, it's mine, and we hope that you all at least were entertained.
Right.
by it.
But I think you can. But again, the key thing is it takes time. It's not going to be done within a day. It's going to take some time for both parties to heal from the breakup before you actually come in as a friendship. And don't feel guilty that because you broke with that person. They were there for you and they helped you out through a hard time in your life. They should have. They were your partner. So they should have helped you out. So that's the given automatically. Now, if they need help while they're going through difficult time and you broke up, that's fine. Help them out. But you don't have to be all laying up with them and holding them and rocking them on your bosom and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Got
that's-
milk. You know all this
honestly,
stuff.
That is true. I mean, I've recently gone through something similar where I wanted to still be friends. The other person couldn't at the time. And, I had to respect that. Initially, I was a little bit upset because I'm like, well, why? Why can't we be friends? We were good friends before.
Right.
Then I had to realize I'm the one who broke it off. And I have to understand that this person has their own feelings, their own
And let them
thoughts
heal
in it.
from it.
And I
Yep.
had to. I really
gotta let
had
them
to.
heal.
And I can't. I mean, that's being insensitive and just not being a good person. If I was just trying to push myself on them just because I wanted a friendship, so I backed off. And I think that eventually we will.
Because if it's
possibly
meant
get
to
back
be,
there.
it will be. It'll come back around. And if you
Right.
were good friends prior, I know within the midst of the breakup, there's going to be some hurt and pain. And once the healing process starts and it gotten to a point that everybody's comfortable, you'll come back and be the
Yeah.
best friends possible.
I think so.
But again, it takes time.
It
So
does.
just like we just said, this is our opinions. This is what we feel. I'm very strong against that. I think you can. Do you think you can be friends?
Eventually.
Eventually, but not
well,
right
this
away.
is it. If you don't have, you have to not be either in love or still have those type of
Feelings.
feelings, like relationship type of feelings for that
Should not
person.
be in- you
You
cannot come to
romantic.
play.
I would say romantic,
Romantic.
type of feelings. If you're feeling any of that, you see that person and you get a little spark. No, you,
You can't be
and you're with
friends.
someone else.
Yeah.
Now, if you're totally single, you do whatever the heck you want
Right.
to do. But if you're with someone else, you cannot
cannot.
initially be friends. It's just not fair.
And don't lead
to
the other person on.
anyone.
Do not lead the other person on. If there's no chance of you getting back to the other person, don't lead them on and then still try to be the friends because they're thinking something else that the feelings they're getting mixed feelings from you.
Yes.
So we hope you take that and apply that to your daily walk. But again, before we do end the show, I do want to mention because I didn't do it at the beginning of the show about the CD. Fantasia CD, I actually tracked through it.
Yes.
Definition of. It's really good.
Yes.
It just came out I think last month
Yes,
or
it
maybe
did. I
June or
think
something
it
like
was-
that. Fantasia CD, definition of, and that is really nice.
Definitely.
It's
You
really
all
nice,
have
real
to
nice. So-
purchase it, download it. I'm not.
Yeah, download from iTunes. That's what I normally do if I don't have the cover and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say I'm taking anything, but yeah. But anyway, for that though, I am Smitty Sebastian Kirk, always in the work,
And I'm Nisha C. All about me.
and we'll see you back here next time. Thank you.
Bye bye.